Hi, I'm Sharon Perry, and I thought it was time that I had a chat with myself and with you. So, let me tell you a bit about myself and why I'm going to talk about leadership today. I have been in a leadership capacity for 3 decades, three. And the world of work was completely different back then. And when I first started and I came across these the other day, and I just thought, whoa, I actually worked for Carib Express. Yep, these were my two badges. And about 5 months after I started, and I was cabin crew, I got a promotion. And this is why I got a promotion too. Senior cabin crew. So it meant then that instead of operating at the back and being a junior, I was responsible for the cabin on all of our flights. I also found my book of, you would never guess what's in here, but speeches. And I was just shocked when I found this. This book is so speech here. Seatbelt sign comes on. Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing in Barbados, please ensure your seatbelts are securely fastened. Bring your tables and chair backs to the upright and locked position. If you're leaving us in Barbados, please ensure that your immigration cards have been completed and correctly filled out. Also check that your hand baggage is placed safely in the overhead lockers or under the seat in front of you. Once again, we shall be dimming the lights for landing. On the panel above your head, you will find a switch for your reading light if you so desire. Thank you. Oh my word. What I may have to do is find the one when we're doing the safety briefing and demonstrate that. Yeah, I have it here. Ladies and gentlemen, please pay very special attention to the cabin crew who will demonstrate our safety procedures. On the aircraft, we have 4 emergency exits, 2 doors at the front, you turn, and 2 doors at the back, one on either side. In the event of a loss in normal lighting, floor level emergency lights will guide you to these exits. Well, that was a time in my life that, and most people who worked with Carib Express will probably tell you this, and I still have my shirt, my crew shirt, but most of the people would tell you that if Carib Express could have survived just on the service, the camaraderie, how the people were within the organization, it would still be here today. But obviously in business, it comes down to dollars and cents. And there were a lot of challenges in terms of not getting permission to fly certain routes and stuff. So that impacted the company. And to this day, a lot of us still meet for what we call our reunion, because we had so many friends afterwards from so many islands: Dominica, St. Vincent, Trinidad, Grenada, Antigua. It was a wonderful place to work. And as I said, that's where my journey started in leadership and the workforce work environments were completely different then. It was competitive, yes, but not as competitive and fast paced and everything as it is now in 2023. But during those years, I had some leaders who really inspired me, and they led with their hearts, and that is important. And I'll explain why a little bit later on, but I can count off, and there were 5. And I'm just going to paint a little picture here, which you may find interesting. I'm not sure, but just let me give you, I guess, the biographies on these 5 persons. One was female, so obviously 4 males, sorry. And 3 of the males had the same name, David. 2 only were Bajan. The other 3 came from Europe. 1 from Ireland, 1 from England, 1 from Germany. And only 1 person was Black. Well, he red, but I guess almost Black. 4 of them were white. And as I said, they were fantastic. And they were real. And the camaraderie, the relationships, everything that we had. I mean, just shaped who I am as an individual, as a leader, and I guess also as an employee. So let's skip now to why I said that it is very important to have certain elements when you are thinking about being in leadership. And just let me drop this little nugget in here. In terms of even customer service, what I have learned over the years. Yes, there are some organizations where persons have to read a script. They answer telephone. Good afternoon. This is whatever the name of the company. My name is Sharon. How can I help you today? You got a script. And some people just become so automatic reading that script. But as I said, what I've learned over the years is that customer service isn't something that you sit on a training room and you rattle on all these different things and people hear these things and stuff. For customer service to really work within any organization, it goes back to basic stuff. And the basic stuff is internal customers need to get the attention before the external customers. Let me explain. If a company treats their employees bad, customers will move it. However, if a company treats its employees great, customers will also move. And that's the key. There are many organizations within this world. There are few organizations on this island that practice the latter, where employees are important. And when an employee is engaged within an organization, that one employee can become the best marketing tool you can ever have. And it's not going to cost you the price of a full-page ad in a paper or an ad on the radio or television. No. And then once you create within your organization a culture where employees are treated well, then that one employee multiplies to however much employees the company has. That are your marketing tools. Because it just becomes automatic. Because at the end of the day, what people tend to forget is that they're dealing with human beings who have feelings. Gone are the days when you can tell someone all your problems at home or wherever, you leave them at the door. No. The door isn't a place where you take off a jacket of issues and you just rest them there. You go and do what you have to do until it's your time to clock out and then you're gone. No. We're in a time now where stress is relevant. And I'm saying that stress is relevant because stress is connected to NCDs, non-communicable diseases, and it impacts your workforce because then people have absenteeism and low productivity and all these different things because they're stressed out at home. They come to work, they're stressed out at work. So thus and therefore, it makes sense that employers create an environment where employees can really be engaged. And if they come to work with an issue, that they can have a conversation with someone to just help alleviate some of the pressure that they might be under. Having a relationship with each employee that you have is not a bad thing. I'm talking about a professional relationship and one that you can easily ask, how is your son doing today? Is he feeling better? How is your mom? You're not crossing any boundaries there. You're showing that person that you care enough about them to ask one and to remember this stuff about their life outside of work. I have, and this memory came back to me today. When I was managing Super Center in Southern Plaza, it was Ron Kropover and one of the shop assistants, because at that time, I guess it still happens. During Kropover time, you play the music, sometimes you bring in a tuck band, different things, just to create the atmosphere because it's carnival time in Barbados. And this one employee, Aisha, she was pregnant. I mean, she was heavy pregnant. And she was just, as Bajans would say, doing dog, winding up and stuff like that. And I said to her, I laughed. I said, take care, you don't deliver this baby in here, or tomorrow no, I hear that this baby has arrived. So the following day, and this was before WhatsApp and all of that, the following day, I can't remember if she messaged me via text or if she called me. But anyhow, this was the message. Miss Perry, you put your mouth on me. My son was born today. And her son was born early morning or something like that. And Rocher. And that was so many years ago. I think he's in secondary school now. That was so many years ago. But just to show you that she and I had the kind of relationship that we could laugh, stuff at work, and then she felt confident enough to pick up her phone and get in contact with me the following day to let me know that her baby was here. And that's it. That is it. I have had staff who stopped being my staff many years ago reach out to me. Some of them would get my number somehow. Some might reach out to me on Facebook or send a message by someone because they want to chat or they want to give me some story about something that happened before or just an update on how their life is at this point, or just to check in to see how I'm doing. And I mean, sometimes I feel almost like a mother or of all these, they call me children, even though some of them older than me. But you reach a point where you develop those kind of relationships, and showing appreciation goes a long way because people don't forget it. I remember as well, still at Oystens, and he and I will have a chat because I think it's important to share his story. This young man, he was the world of trouble. Now, yes, I know that sometimes you have to discipline people, but there are times that you have to look at the situation and weigh, can disciplining this person help or hurt them? So anyhow, this particular young man, I was just really for work. And once he's in his zone, I mean, he would just work and pack and do everything he had to do. But he always used to be late, and they had different issues with him. And I would have him in my office and I would talk to him and stuff like that. And I remember one day he came into my office and he said to me, "Miss Perry, I would like to speak to you." I said, "Cool, no problem. I am resigning." And I was like, "You're resigning?" He said, "Yes, I'm resigning. I gave my life to God and I am going away and do missionary work." Now, he knocked the stuffings out of me because that was the last thing I expected him to say. That is the truth. And then he said to me, "I want to thank you because I know that I was endless trouble and you could have fired me at any time or disciplined me more, but you just used to sit down and talk to me and try to guide me and stuff like that." He said, "I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you." And no, I mean, when I see him, I am just so in awe and proud of the young man that he has become and matured into. He's not as bony as he was because he did use heels, but he just used to be pulling up his pants like time. Pants always just be dropping down. But to see him now, I mean, he is a story of how a person can just change his or her life around for the better. And I'm not going to go into them. I have a lot more stories like that where persons, just made a change. And try not to get emotional, but the thing is, it is just about recognizing the good in people and the positive qualities and not focusing on negative qualities. So, leaders, you can decide what kind of leader you want to be. But I know that at the end of the day, the staff you're dealing with, they all bleed the same kind of blood you have. And I always say this, and I think this way I am comfortable in most situations. My mother always said food is nothing. It goes in and it comes out. And everybody at some point during the day has to face the porcelain throne. Everybody. Queen, king, whoever you are. have to face the person in front. So in leadership, you just need to be able to come down, be on a certain level, and the respect that you get should be respect that is earned, not something that is automatic because, oh, I have a title. So what? My staff have called me Miss P, Miss Perry, Sharon, all sort of things. And I answer to all one away because the respect was there. I know persons who will call you Mr. whomever or Miss whomever, and there's no respect anywhere in their body towards you. So it just goes to show it's not the title either that you're given in terms of your name or even in terms of the position within the company. And I want to bring up this because of the conversations I've had in the last few weeks that just seem to have been similar. People also need to remember where they've come from. I do this show. This show is important to me because redefining how society is in 2023 is necessary because we're headed down a path of complete destruction if we stay this course. Young people have a different mindset. This is the generation who is going to take us forward. And we need to try to pull back some stuff because a lot of things have just gone crazy. And so this show is important to me. So I would WhatsApp the link to various persons within my contact list. And I remember sending it to this individual. Now I've known this person for about a quarter of a century. And I sent her the link. I think I had sent like 2 others. And she messaged me and asked me, Sharon, what's this that you're sending me? And I just explained what it was. And then her response to me made me feel, one, like if I was a child, as though it was a stranger. And it wasn't necessary. But the thing is, people sometimes forget how the structure of words can make such a big difference in what you say to someone and how they receive it. And I'll tell you this, after I read her message, my response was no problem, NP. And then I deleted the whole chat because even though I was not going to read it again, I didn't need the reminder of the negativity. And it's strange, it just popped up in my mind just now. It's not something that I dwell on. But it popped up in my mind because it's relevant here. Because it speaks again, as I said, about when you are in a position of authority. And a lot of people sometimes forget where they came from. And at the end of the day, when it's your turn to meet the maker, you should be able to say to him, I did good. I was a human being to the other human beings out there. No, we're not perfect. None of us are, but recognizing missteps is important. So that's my 2 cents on leadership. You gotta be humble. You have to respect your subordinates. You have to remember that you're dealing with human beings who need to survive this life, just like how you need to survive this life. And it just happened that the luck of the draw is that you are in that position, they're in another position. Suppose the roles were reversed. How would you want to be treated? So just think about it. The organizations out there, people who are leading organizations out there, reflect, see if you can do better, because your employees, they can make or break your organization. And the ball's in your court because it starts with you. What are you going to do better tomorrow? How are you going to build these companies? How are you going to improve the customer service in Barbados? Because in a lot of areas, it sucks. Just be honest. So, leadership. Mine started there.
So thank you for joining us today on the chat. And if you like our videos, subscribe to our channel so that you can receive that alert once we've posted another one to share with you. Until then, Perry out.